Hi folks, in this video I'm going to give a high-level overview of the topics we're going to go over in this course and how they relate to each other. So in our course website, the technical stuff really starts at version control, going through containers, front-end, back-end, and then production. Those are the main topics of this course. And so I'm just going to go over how they relate to each other now. So version control and containers, they're the tools we're going to use to build our application. Front end and the back end is the actual application we are building. There are components to the application. And lastly, production is how we make our application operational and allow others to use our application. So if we think of ourselves as home builders, the tools is the hammer and the chop saw that we use to build our application, which is our home. The application of the home that we're building, the front end is all the components that the user or the homeowner actually touches and interacts with. So these would be like the doors, the sinks, and the light switches. The back end is all the stuff that the user don't see. So the homeowner or the user of the home will never see the structural beams or the plumbing pipes or the electrical wiring. And then lastly, imagine we're building factory homes. So we build it in a factory, and then when the home is built, we then deploy it or operationalize it and put it out into the field where the homeowner and the users of the home actually reside and will use it. So this assembly factory is kind of our development machine. Basically the machine you're using right now. And then where we actually deploy the application, the home, is going to be on servers, which are really just machines as well, but optimized to be on 24/7 and be secured, like, so your users don't abuse it. So that's how the the different topics relate to each other. So I'm just gonna summarize it one more time here. So with Git, we're going to use it to track the code that represents our application. So that's the tool we use to kind of, make sure that if we make a change into our application, the code, if it breaks, we can roll back and see what changed. And then with the containers or Docker and Docker Compose, that's the environment that we're gonna track. We can use containers and Docker Compose. Containers is the I guess the category of the tool, and Docker container is kind of like the product. So similarly, version control is kind of like the topic or the category, and then Git is kind of a product. So containers will track the environment, Git will track the application source code, and then the components of the application, there's going to be the front end component and then the backend component. And those components will make up our application. And then lastly, this is all in our own development machine. And to kind of push it to production, we're going to push it to Heroku, which is the production environment we're using. So our app will be running on the Heroku and their servers. So then anyone on the internet with a browser can then use your app, and they're not going to use the app that's on your development machine because you've pushed it to Heroku. And once it's pushed to Heroku, the users will then use will get to the application using Heroku's infrastructure and machine. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you enjoy the topics and what we go over in this class. All right, thank you.